What's going on, guys? It's the Glitcher here, back with another podcast on Saturday evening, about 5 p.m. Had a few issues, so we're just going to do it this way for a little bit until, technical issues get figured out, which I'm fine with. If you've seen in the beginning, we have W Energy stuff all over the place. Me and Galaxy Eater and my son are sponsored by W. www.wenergy.gg.com or just .gg. Type in one of our names, the Glitcher Boys, or Galaxy Eater, and then that's that. Got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. I want to get this rocking and rolling because, man, there's a lot of things I need to get off my chest. But first and foremost, let me introduce my co-host on this evening's show, Galaxy Eater. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm feeling awesome today. Aside from our stream going down on the other side, we're actually really sad about that. Don't worry, we're going to get that fixed momentarily. We're going to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this shit. It's just getting retarded, and it's. I like I said, I went live the other day and it was fine, worked excellent. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe that's the price of just living out in the country. But anyways, enough of me bitching about my personal issues. We're gonna get going into today's topics first and foremost. Um, this is absolutely crazy with PlayStation and Game Fest going on. People are screaming for Destiny 3. Like, I don't know if you saw State of Play, dude. They like they shut down a lot of the stuff with We Want Destiny 3, and like we were talking before we went live or we started doing what we were doing. I was playing Destiny 2 the other day, and and I'm sitting there screaming at it. Like I said, I was getting mad at the game, and my dad walks in the room. He's like, "What's going on?" And my son's like, "No, this is his favorite game," and he's like, "Damn." But no, I love Destiny. I remember when it first came out, I got it, and I was playing as a warlock, and I was absolutely terrible. I hated everything about this game. I was super pissed about it. I was so upset. I was like, "What the fuck? Why can't I do anything?" And I got rid of it. And then I don't know. I felt like it was. I felt there was some unresolved there. So I went and got Destiny. I downloaded the demo and I was like, let me try a different class because I was a warlock. I set up as the Titan. And dude, literally within like minutes, I maxed out the level on the demo. I'm like, I was playing the wrong class. So from that moment on, I've been a Titan. I've been a huge fan of Destiny. And I don't know if I can sign the petition for Destiny 3, but how do you feel about Destiny?
Well, I actually playing Destiny since Destiny 1 days. Like you, I picked the Warlock because I thought the Warlock sounded cool. And the Warlock is, in my opinion, of all three classes, is no joke. It's like playing the game on hard mode. It's literally like no reason to play Warlock unless you just want to suffer. Especially like when it comes to like when I was playing, like my buddy picked Hunter. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's a great time. Everything's just easy." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck you, man. All right, we're not gonna do all that." But I absolutely adored the game, especially the time that I played it. Like I told you guys before, I stopped playing like um, what? Gosh, what expansion was that? I can't remember the name anymore. I used to know it so well.
The Taken King?
Yeah, no. I actually played during the Taken King. Actually, that's when
Forsaken.
I played like Forsaken. It might have been Forsaken, like right after Forsaken. It's like when I stopped playing because, like I said before, the game was super grindy. And with Destiny, especially like I had been like kind of keeping up with it, like story wise, because I'm still very interested in the story. I still love this, and that's actually what brought me in the first time. Even playing Destiny 1, I really like the story. But no, I really do feel like it's time for Destiny, or at least Destiny 2 to like sunset, and either you guys get like Destiny 3 or just move on to another game. But I don't think that game is marathon. I don't.
No,
I mean,
that's
I
not
looked
it.
at it, and I'm just all like, this is almost like everything like what old Halo Bun or not old Halo Bun, but Halo 343 wanted. It looks like any other extraction game. Like Righteous, it looks like. I honestly feel like that game looks phenomenal aesthetic wise, but it feels like it has like this like the DNA of like Guardians in the Galaxy and like maybe Cyberpunk.
Okay. I mean, well, so I've got Arc Raiders. I've played it. and I get some people are about the extraction shooters and everything, and I guess you can almost classify the division when you do the dark zone as an extraction. Um,
Absolutely.
but I don't know. A lot of people are just getting tired of all this crap where it's like, what's the term I'm looking for? Like the add-ons, the live service shit. Everybody's
Yeah,
sick of it. Everybody's getting tired of it, and it's like, and I'm gonna save this because this is gonna go into my rant later on. But the live service stuff, I mean, I would very much, from what I was told after you beat the final shape in Destiny 2, that's the perfect ending. Uh, and everybody's kind of worried that the Moments of Triumph that's coming out here in a couple days is going to ruin it. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when that comes out. Like I said, I have not beat the final shape yet. But let's get Destiny 3 to happen so we can just end it. Because I feel that should happen and then be the final chapter, put everything and call it a day with it and call it that. Because, like you said, marathon's not it.
No, I absolutely not.
But now we had games, Summer Game Fest yesterday, and there was a lot of games that were announced. I am looking forward to the final ending of the Final Fantasy VII remake. What was it? Revelations. That's what it was called. I'm ready for that one. They announced, oh my god, I'm drawing blanks now. But the big one I really want to happen is The Last Ronin, the Ninja Turtle one that we were talking about before we started recording and everything. That one, oh my god, like I said, you got to take a chance. When you get a free chance, look up on YouTube and everything. They have all the stuff on there. That is going to be a dark, dark game. And then big Resident Evil fan. I'm super ready for. I don't like the name of it though. Resident Evil Veronica. I get it. It's code Veronica, but that Veronica, Resident Evil Veronica. Come on, Capcom. But which has a female protagonist. Anyways, but yep. Those are the big ones I'm really looking forward to. Oh, and Alien Isolation 2. That's
Woo!
I know.
Dog
I knew you were going to be excited about that one. I sent you I sent you the list the other day. What are you looking forward to, my friend?
So obviously, Alien Isolation 2 is it's definitely big on my list. And then obviously, uh, if you're talking about the fest, I think it was that Final Fantasy, and there was another game on there. Hold on, let me pull up the list again real quick. Let me just because I saw it and I had never heard it before.
Sorry, y'all. We have bad memories.
Oh.
So I had it up, but then we had technical issues, and now all my stuff is gone. So, but like I said, the biggest one that I want, because I believe they said it was made by Platinum Games, was The Last Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you guys do not know what that story is, look it up. It is beyond sad, depressing, and it's like, it's more adult themed, like how the original Ninja Turtles were when they were like originally black and white and they all had red bandanas. Like, it's mature like that. And Platinum Games, I believe, is working on it. And if they decide to cancel this game, I will go to wherever Platinum Games is at, and I will burn that mother to the ground.
Don't do it.
I've been saying that the whole entire time, like before because I want this game to happen, and they've been talking about it for a while actually, and I'm super excited that it's actually now out in the open. People can see it. So I hope it continues to keep being made. But did you get your list up?
Yes, I did.
All
It
right.
was Blood Message.
Blood Message.
Blood Message really got me. I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And this game looks really interesting. After watching the trailer, I kind of had to like read the description too because it kind of got to me. But like you're playing as a messenger traveling with your son. You're on a dangerous mission, and obviously there are going to be events that are going to like keep stacking against you. It just seems like kind of a fun. It seems like kind of a fun deal. But obviously my main dish is Alien Isolation 2. I saw that trailer drop and I absolutely lost it. I'm like, excuse me. First of all, I played through the first one. I played through it like 9 or 10 times. I wish I played it more, but adult. You got an adult.
Yes,
Seeing the
unfortunately.
seeing the change of scenery, first of all, made me go, "Excuse me, what are you trying to do to me?" You're playing outside, right? And it doesn't seem like a horror alien game wouldn't work outside, especially at first. But when you really look at the actual setting, like even the trees, like the way they designed the trees, it made them look like coiled up xenomorphs. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer and you peeped a lot of like the design choices. They did that specifically to make it feel like it's there or something is always there, like right outside your peripheral. And they did that in Alien Isolation as well. And that's one of those tricks that I actually enjoy in horror movies and games. Even though the trick is there, you just can't be sure. And since it's a game, and it's not the same thing's not always going to repeat. You're going to always want to double check. You want to double back, move
Mm-hmm.
slower. You want to shine your light in like all directions. So it's definitely something to consider when you are playing even the first game. Like they actually have some. I think they were usually like there's like safe stations and they're like in the middle of the map, but they look like coiled up xenomorphs and they did that on purpose. But they're actually just pipes and like the elongated head. It looks like it's actually just a pipe like jetting out and it's going into like this fuselage thing. And it's just like hanging like in the middle of the room. And the lights usually are like dimmed in there or they're off. So like when you shine your light in there or like when lights come on, you might be silly and like throw like a noisemaker trying to distract the xenomorph, or you might use like one of your tools and then end up getting yourself killed anyway.
Yeah, like well, and that's what I like about those games, like especially in this open environments like that. Because if anybody's seen the movie Aliens, it's kind of like that how they had it set up on the planet where everything just looked kind of like when they would run around outside and everything by the heavy machinery and all that. It kind of looked like there was xenomorphs there and aliens, and then I think it was AVP Requiem. They kind of had
Mm-hmm.
stuff similar set up to that, which it was an aliens movie that guest starred a predator. But we got Xbox's showcase coming up this Sunday, and I believe it starts at 10 a.m. So, and which sucks because we work night shifts, so we got to try and catch up on that if we can before we go to work. That's the joys of working night shift, everybody. We miss out on some stuff, but it happens. But, we still will voice our opinions because we're gamers, and this is our podcast, and we will do whatever we want. But Xbox Showcase is Sunday, and I'm really excited to see more about Gears E Day because I want to see where they're going to take it because they're the whole story of Gears of War and everything. I hope they actually bring it to where you see him make the decision about his father and everything and how he got locked up. But of course, Dom and him are super young in this, and I don't know what time period it's going to be or whatever. I would like it if they actually broke it down in sections like this part, this is their basic training, and then this part, this is what happens, and then this part is the moment he let his dad go, which leads up into the first Gears of War. That would be kind of cool, in my opinion.
I feel like we're actually definitely going to get that. It will be, and this is my okay. So I'm going to start with like my biggest fears about this, and then I'm going to go into the positives. So we're going to start negative here. Xbox and the coalition, they know they screwed up with Gears of War 5. Let's be completely honest about it. They knew what they were doing. They knew like the only way to get back like the older fans, and I'm talking specifically to the older fans here. We like Dom, we like Marcus, we like the Brotherhood. We like how Gears was more gritty. It was bloody, and it was basically just war.
Yes.
And looking back at the track record between 4 and 5, let's not even talk about 5. Let's talk about 4 specifically because 4 was I feel like it was the shit, but it happened in the other game that featured it featured Baird.
Judgment?
What was that? Yeah, Judgment.
That
And
doesn't
you can
exist.
actually tell. Yeah, no, we don't talk about Judgment.
No.
But the shift goes heavy in 4, where it's not as bloody. You're focusing like on the DVs, especially like in the first part of the game. It's kind of letting you know that hey, we're not going as crazy, but we're still gonna bring you like the gears that you kind of love, and instead of like it just being like blood and guts, it's kind of like goo. And I noticed that immediately, like with the not the locust, but now like, the swarm. and I guess it's like kind of like the same thing but different. I don't know.
I from what I remember, how they explained it in the game, it's the swarm is actually still the locust. They just mutated,
Yeah,
if I
they
remember
just
correctly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they
So
were never gone.
no, 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 no. And like they did a couple things. I feel like they made a couple missteps with doing the swarm, but I think the swarm is the next logical step for the locust. Maybe not like them be like locusts themselves, but like something new. Like I know the swarm is something new technically, but they're still locusts, like you're saying. And anyone with half a brain could see that. They could see it right through. It's like, okay, you're just rehashing it. Now, my biggest fears is that they're just going to use this to be all like, just come back. We promise we're back. We promise we're back. We promise we're back. Because y'all heard my reaction last time. I lost it when I was talking about it. I was like, yes, because we are so back. We went
Yep.
from 5 to this.
Yes.
I'm excited. But, knee-jerk reactions aside, that's my biggest fear. Now, like you were talking about before, with this decision with the father, with what's going on, they're actually young enough to where that happens because if you guys remember from the opener Gears of War 1, that's like 15 years between that actual decision. If you play Gears of War 3, you would, Marcus talks about it. That's like a 15-year gap there. So they could totally do that, especially for the ending, or they can even put that in the middle of the game and like put in like all the other stuff that they actually did in the comic books, in the game.
Yeah.
And I think it would behoove them not to just do Marcus and Dom's story, because that would honestly be a mistake. Because you have the story of Baird, Cole, especially Cole's story. I feel like Cole's story is actually very interesting from the perspective of
What was it in 3 when he saw the cardboard cut out of himself and then he started to remember himself back in the day of the game? I felt so bad for that dude. I was like, Jesus Christ. He was a coming up star, or he was a superstar already.
Yeah, he was already a superstar. He was a what did they have?
I think it was Jamball or whatever the hell it was called. I can't remember what it, but
crazy.
Yeah, and he was like superstar and everybody remembered him, and then it's like he doesn't have that life anymore. Now he's all like living in the grime and all that, and it's like I would like to see more of that with him, like how his world starts falling apart. I'd like to, because I'm sorry, Judgment didn't do a good job with Barrett at all. I didn't like how they explained it. So yes,
that's why I really think they should focus in like on Delta Team, like before they're a Delta Team. Because Cole's story, if you guys ever like read the books or read the comics, it's even more tragic than that. Because he didn't even join because for any other reason than he felt like he needed to do his part. Because he was a superstar, he already had a bunch of money. He felt like he needed to do his part, especially when they got when Hanar got hit. Yeah, and I'm not sure at what point it got hit because I don't remember the actual story, but it was like around like the first couple of weeks of the war, and Cole signed up like when he found out his mother and his father were dead, because he had bought their house and everything, and he had paid it off, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. Yep. I think it was like the first day of the war, his parents were gone.
Yeah, like right when everything started falling apart. And then, yeah, I want to see what more they're going to do with Gears. If they're going to bring it back, I hope the Coalition brings it back the right way. Not like, because Gears 4 was the safe route. They did what Star Wars did, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face. Gears of War 4 is Star Wars Episode 7. It was the safe route. They kind of reimagined the first one so they can reintroduce people into the stuff. So Gears 4 was the safe route. 5, I'm sorry, I will tell people until I'm blue in the face that game is dog shit. I do not like 5. And Judgment doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And then I feel what they're going to show a lot is they're going to show some more of GTA 6 on their stuff. They're going to probably show some of the bundles they got going on. Even though PlayStation has, I think they have some type of timed exclusive or whatever. It's a whole hot mess with that. But I know they're probably going to show some more GTA 6 since that's like coming right around the corner, actually. So I don't understand why. Well, I'll touch my feelings on PlayStation here in a minute. But I feel GTA 6 is going to be shown a little bit more, and I'm actually kind of thrown for the rest of what Xbox is going to show. I feel the rest is going to be all surprises because Xbox has got a lot of work they got to step up and to bring it back. And Asha, she changed the logo. She did different things with the Game Pass, which I'm happy for because I actually get that Call of Duty crap out of Game Pass. Nobody cares about that. Call of Duty has been garbage for a while, and I will say they'll probably show some more of Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 4, but I'm sorry, that game just needs to be put to rest because that's forgot its identity. I
Yeah,
don't.
you know what? After I saw the trailer, I kind of got hyped for it. But then, like, I remembered like how they left three, and I'm like, I rewatched it through like different lenses because, of course, again, I think that's how they're really getting us. They're getting us with like this knee jerk reaction kind of deal,
Yep, they're
and then
hoping
it's
we
like
get all
these
pumped.
right, and then of course we're gonna go out and pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we're big enough fans that we'll pre-order like the big bonus edition. But it's like without and that's another thing we talked about before. We talked about physical gaming, owning physical media, and how much even pre-ordering doesn't even feel like anything anymore because you don't own it.
No.
You can't hold it anymore. So it's like now, and I've noticed now more often than not, this instead of like giving a release date, they'll say wish list it, and I'm all like, why should I wish list?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another conversation we can have for another day. That's not what
Yes.
we're getting at here.
No.
But yeah, Call of Duty has obviously lost its identity. Everything is being done for shock value. You could definitely tell, especially like using price. Someone had made a video. I only watched like maybe like 20 minutes of it because it was like an hour's worth of video. But they're trying to make Price a bad guy, and I'm just like, huh? And then they had said something that kind of like irked me, but it made sense, and that's something we can talk about in a minute because we're going to talk about that toward the end.
Yes.
So
Because there's a lot of ground to cover in such a short time. Because yeah. Uh, any predictions for Xbox from you? What do you got to say about the Xbox show that's going to be live Sunday at 10 a.m.?
okay, so obviously my biggest prediction is that Gears is actually going to be their biggest heavy hitter. There's no secret that, of course, they're going to show some more Halo stuff. And being a huge Halo fan, obviously I'm excited. But everyone already knows Halo inside and out, pretty much. Maybe not hardcore PlayStation fans, and maybe they'll probably get something. But righteously, I really felt like we're really just going to get like mostly like the biggest thing will probably be Gears. There might be like some um, surprise like either like indie games or like some other studios will be like, hey, we're about to make something really cool. I know Fable got pushed back to like next year, so it
Yeah.
might not even show up this year.
They might show a little Fable. You know they're going to show Combat Evolved. This is all stuff that we all know is going to be there. But Gears for me is the... I mean, at this point, Halo's another game that's pretty much... I love Halo, but that's another game that's run its course with me because this is like, what, the fourth version of Halo we're getting?
Yeah, it's like the fourth version of Halo 1. And at first I thought it was a misstep until I heard like what they were trying to do with PlayStation, which I still think is a misstep. Do not get me wrong, but if they do this right, okay, hear me out, people, because I agree with Brian. We don't need live service,
No.
but I do believe that Halo could have prevailed in a live service way with its lore, its armor kits, if it were done correctly, way back in like Halo 5, like way back in like 2015. When all this stuff was like trying to take off. Because one thing I actually really did like about Halo, like one of the few things I did like about Halo 5 was like its armor variants, or not the armor variants, the weapon variants. And there wasn't just like stronger weapons or weapons that just did different stuff. Because that was part of the appeal. It all told a story. It all opened up the world of Halo from a lore perspective. And that is very unique. They could have done that way better. I'm not giving it too much praise. Calm down.
Yep.
But they could have really done something really cool with that. They could have done that went even deeper. So,
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, Xbox coming up. Super pumped because I do love Xbox. I will always love Xbox. They just need to get their heads out of their butts. But I want to get on the PlayStation topic because that's been a hot key for a little all week. First off, I want to talk about Wolverine. I don't care what anybody says. That game is going to be freaking phenomenal, dude. Did you see the Wolverine videos?
I absolutely did. And while I do agree it's going to be phenomenal, I feel like there's like a couple issues with it, but the issues that I see, they're very detailed-ish, and there might be like some comic-ish, like if you're super into the comics, you're super into Wolverine, you might find some issues with it. but not many. Like one detail I actually really did like about the game, and this is where I'm going to start because I kind of noticed it in the trailer. I rewound it like 3 times to make sure I wasn't crazy. Whenever he actually takes damage, his suit takes damage. Then his body takes damage, and then when he heals.
The suit heals.
And the suit. I was like, excuse me.
I didn't know if anybody caught.
Part of him.
I didn't. You know what? I was kind of hoping I'm sure other people caught that, but it's like, wait a minute, the suit's healing too. It's a part of him.
I was like, what? You had me like the skin coming off. You saw his anonymity.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, wait a second, why does the suit look, brand new again? Like, what are we doing? It's a video game. We should be able to forgive them. But if we're gonna put that much detail into a game, put all the details.
Yes, he heals, not the suit. Yeah, definitely. Right. It's like they have the suit hang off and stuff. I mean, Christ, they figured this out in Mortal Kombat 9. When they would get their asses kicked, they would have pieces hanging off. But yeah, I mean, the game looks great. I'm super pumped for it because I feel Insomniac does great jobs. Like, I do love the Spider-Man games. I know people had issue with Spider-Man 2. I did like Spider-Man 2. Big fan of it. I really like what Wolverine does, except for the suit, because the suit all of a sudden is alive now. It's a sentient being. It can heal itself. But I am really excited for Wolverine. There was a game that, because now I'm going to start going into a rant because everything else that was shown and stuff, a lot of people, the big one that really got people upset, and I really want to talk about this because this is gamers are killing games. This is why developers, they don't take shots at making games anymore because everybody's a bunch of frickin' babies. Which is God of War, La Fey. Now, I would understand. Now, first and foremost, hear me out because this is start rant. And feel free to voice your opinion anytime I'm ranting. God of War La Fey. They talked about making a game about her last year. So this was not brand new. And second of all, this is a character that was introduced into the story. So this is not some brand new character. Like, I get, Ghost of Tsushima and then Ghost of Yote. People are like, oh, we got a dainty little samurai girl. Okay. I get that. We had no idea that this person existed when Ghost of Tsushima was out. But Kratos' wife was known. Like Last of Us. We knew about Ellie. She was already in the game. There was another game I wanted to bring. I'm still drawing a blank on the third one that went from male to female. And people are losing their damn minds the fact that you are playing Kratos' wife. People are screaming PlayStation's gone woke now. You've got female characters. Such and such. Oh, Last of Us 2. Okay. I bought The Last of Us 2 when it first came out. I didn't like the game because I thought the story sucked. I thought it was absolutely stupid. You made a sequel to a game that did not need a sequel. And I'm going to make a statement now. I don't care what video games, what kind of protagonist there is. I don't care if you're a female, male, gay, straight, black, white. Don't care. If the story is awesome, then I'm going to support it. But I'm not going to hate on a game because it's a female protagonist. Because there is a lot of games out there. Gears of War 5, which Xbox community is forgetting, that has a female protagonist. But that's not woke. We're not going to talk about that. I'm going to say this right now, and I don't care if people get upset, because I put this on X, and people made no comments about it. Xbox is the queen of wokeness. You went from Phil Spencer to Asha Sharman. Oh, that's not woke. That's not woke at all. What was her qualifications to be CEO? What was it? She was with Microsoft for 2 years in the AI department, correct?
Yeah, no, that was actually my biggest concern, that she was in the AI department.
But now she's CEO. But that's okay. You got people flooding it up all on Twitter going, oh, yeah, I got pictures with her. She's going to make Xbox great. But You got PlayStation making games with female characters. And people, oh, PlayStation's woke. PlayStation's woke. If you don't like a game, that's fine. I don't care. But if you're just bitching about a game because it's got a female protagonist, then no game should exist because there's Xbox games that have female protagonists. There's female protagonists in a lot of games. You got Metroid. Get rid of it because it's woke. Get rid of Gears 5 because it's woke. Get rid of Xbox because they're woke. Get rid of PlayStation because you got Kratos' wife. This woke stuff is getting ridiculous. Now, if they are shoveling the shit in people's face left and right, like, and I mean, you are in the game and it's like, oh, I'm a female, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm this, every step you take, then I can get why you're upset. But you don't know what dude, it's just getting ridiculous. And this is why game developers don't want to make games anymore, because everybody bitches way too much about everything because, it's not pandered to me. I'm not a big strong man running around sleeping with whores in GTA. Shut up. You know, if you don't like a game, don't buy it. There are plenty of games I did not like that I didn't care for. Yes, I voiced opinions about it, like The Last of Us 2. Went on a rant for a podcast for about 20 minutes, and that was it. The fact that I'm bringing it back up now is just, you guys are just getting ridiculous now. It's like nobody, don't play video games. These are to help. Our world sucks right now, okay? We are in, the whole world's a dumpster fire, okay? And people are creating different things to take our minds off this. But you're going to bitch about a female character? Jesus Christ, dude. If you don't like a game, play something else. Because at the end of the day, once GTA 6 comes out, you're not going to care about anything. You're going to hop in your little car, your little digital car, find your little digital hooker, and bang her out and then kill her. So at the end of the day, what are you really complaining about? What is upsetting you? I mean, am I wrong?
Okay, so no, I don't think you're. I don't. From a argument standpoint, I don't think you're wrong because a lot of people, as people, they see something and take it like at base value, and I think that's actually what happened with this whole God of War thing. And I actually think it's actually a little more in depth because I actually took it, and after you told me about it, I did before I even like looked at the trailer, I watched a couple of videos on it and the memes. Okay, so to contrast this, because I definitely feel your rage, I want to laugh a little bit. The memes are just absolutely diabolical.
Now, I will say, yes,
People
they are funny.
People are absolutely hilarious. I think my favorite one so far was Kratos yelling at his wife, talking about some "hurry up with dinner, woman," and she's just sitting there, just making dinner, all quiet and shit. I'm like, in reality, she cut his head off for talking like that. but you know, in all actuality, doing a little more digging and watching a couple more videos, I think the issue is a little more complicated than just the woman equals woke, and there is a lot of that in the space, and I think that's either children or people that don't take the totality of some people's arguments into account. Because I've seen it, and I don't like those comments. I don't like it either. But at the same time, someone had said, and I kind of agree with this point, is they shouldn't have called it God of War. They should have just like called it by her name. God. Just call it like Faye or something like that. Or God of War presents Faye. I felt like that would have been like a less of a slap in the face to those who are hardcore God of War fans.
Like LaFay, a God of War story.
Right.
Because they intertwine.
When you're a fan, right? Because when you're a fan of something, and you'll say, okay, let's take Metroid for example, right? Even though Samus isn't a Metroid, Samus is synonymous with Metroid. So if you just say, it's Metroid, da 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 da, it doesn't have like that same way as God of War, because the God of War is actually the title. But you're still going to be expecting Samus, or at least a character adjacent to Samus. I think it came out on the DS. It was Metroid Galactic Defense or something like that. It was a small game. It was a real goofy game. But when I heard it was Metroid, I was kind of disappointed when Samus wasn't in it at all, or she was barely mentioned. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, fuck this game. And I moved on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they did with this. I think that's a marketing misstep. Now, secondly, and this is the point, I do agree with like people when they say, it's woke. I don't really think it's woke necessarily. I think it's a major misstep. They made her look old as hell. like I get what they're trying to go for. You know, she's an older woman, you know, whatever, what have you. But if I, and this is just me personally, if I'm voice acting somebody, you're going to tell me you're going to put me in the game, kind of like Halo, for example. You know, God, what's his name? Nathan Fillion, right? Nathan
Yes.
Fillion is in Halo. And you saw him in Halo ODST. Sure, he looks kind of funny looking, but that's just graphics of, like, was it 2009? But it still looks somewhat like Nathan Fillion, and he doesn't look too bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you take that, and even like Halo 5's Nathan Fillion, right? He does not look that bad. But if I was the voice actress and I saw her picture, damn, is she hot? She is hot, Brian. She is fine. She can have my babies.
Damn.
Okay? But like, when I saw that and I saw like the character, I'm like, okay, no, I can understand why you said this as well, because that is like part of the wheelhouse. But in my opinion, that game doesn't stack up to the woke title, but there are a lot of missteps to it. Now, the gameplay itself, and this is where I kind of have issues, because I actually had this experience before with a video game series. It's called Fable. I don't know if you guys or you play Fable. I think you have played Fable.
I have. I actually like Fable a lot, which if you see the new image of the new Fable, there is a female.
Yes.
So that's not
Now,
woke.
no. So touching on Fable, Fable actually did this, and they did this to me, and I found it very insulting as a gamer. When playing Fable, was it 1? The game, it doesn't feel like super fluid, but you know what it feels? It feels like you have a lot of options. You can do
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things. You have like different ways to earn experience, so it's not like, oh, one experience. And they do have like an experience all, but it's like the value of it is like a half or a quarter than if you just like focus in like that, you know, one thing to kit yourself with. So it's really cool in that aspect. Fable 2 takes a lot of that away. Sure, it still has that experience system, but the game feels more hand-holdy, or it feels more cagey, right? And
Yeah.
then Fable 3 doesn't even have a health bar. I mean, like the health bar is like where the menu is, and like it blinks like when you're taking too much damage, but you don't have like a real indicator of like how much damage you're taking. So it feels like the game was either stepping back or was focusing like more like on normies. And when I was looking at that, and I compared that to like older God of War games, Faye looks like something like that, where it doesn't seem like it's focused on like the gameplay aspect. It's more like it's trying to tell a story, like it's a movie. It feels like a Marvel movie, is what it feels like.
Well,
And I
and
feel like,
go ahead. I just because I got yeah. Go ahead.
okay, but I think that's just like the sign of the times that everyone's trying to copy success, because it's not just God of War is doing that. A lot of games are trying to copy that whole Marvel feel. Um, what is the term? Flanderization. It's like the flanderization of things that are artistical or an actual character. And I really felt like everything is trying to. It just seems more like it's Marvel esque.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like even Star Wars starts following Marvel's like serious but jokey tone. It doesn't work all the way through. In fact, Star Wars, if you go back and like look at like the even like the original Star Wars, let's talk about the original trilogy. Everything kind of took itself seriously, not super seriously, but it felt real. The stakes felt high.
Now, if we're
Whereas the
I
prequels,
was
not so much. Or not
I
the prequels, sequels. Sorry.
like I was gonna say like the only like the I mean I know people feel that way about 7, 8, and 9, and I get that.
Yeah.
They pretty much were erasing Anakin's story, but the big one that I felt that I will say was woke was that acolyte or whatever the hell it was, because that was
Oh no,
just that's what I consider super fucking woke, because
yeah.
there's a lot because I'm like the God of War game is she's in a realm with a bunch of different dead gods, okay, and she's going to and it's in between the 2018 God of War and Ragnarok. So there's going to be intertwining between all of this, which I think sounds good. Now, if the game sucks, cool. I get it. It's garbage. It's trash. Like, I don't understand the cube thing, whatever that thing is. I don't get
Yeah.
that. I don't understand.
I don't.
But I want to play the game to understand what the hell the damn cube thing is. I don't understand it, whatever. But Horizon Zero Dawn, great game. You played as a woman. She was a little too serious, but Resident Evil Veronica, you're playing as a woman. So, but then that should be burned at the stake too, right? Gears of War 5, that was a woman. Burn that at the stake. Last of Us, Stellar Blade, go ahead and burn that at the stake then too, because that's a female. And I know a lot of people are going to lose their mind with the new Stellar Blade that's coming out because of the jiggle physics of the ass.
Chisel physics.
But it's like, dude, if the story is good, why does it matter if you're playing as a female? What about GTA 6? You're going to be playing as a female. Is that not woke? But that's that.
Yeah, she's one of the main characters.
Yeah, but that's okay. But what I'm coming down, what is boiling down to, is there's got to be a line drawn somewhere, because we're just gonna you're not allowed to have a female character. What, a female's not supposed to go through hell and she's not allowed to get revenge?
Well, I think in this argument, the problem isn't just the female characterism; it's people's perception of it. Like what you're pointing out, and them not taking, like I said before, taking like the totality of it, because you have. And while we're on this point, like you're saying, like, okay, let's move into cinema territory, right? You already know where I'm going to go with this. Let's take Ellen Ripley, one of my favorite female protagonists ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can go back in the day and you can say, okay, no, of course that was woke because you really have never seen that before. But at the same time, that's enjoyable because woke wasn't just synonymous with bad. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more the perception of it. And like the way woke is used now, it's more used like a weapon, and people take the littlest things and be like, okay, well, I don't want to be this, I don't want to be preached to. Because like even Star Wars, what was that? The second of the sequels, it was very heavy-handed with the message.
Episode 8. What was it?
Yeah, episode 8.
Oh, that movie. Well, that one
The
doesn't
Last
exist.
Jedi or something like that.
That was The Last Jedi, the last dog shit. Yeah, that one was just terrible.
Yeah, that one was heavy-handed with the message. There's a lot of Yas Queen moments, and it's really easy to say, okay, no, this is very woke. And I've seen people defend it and say, oh no, it's just. And I really feel like if you really have to like defend a movie or something like that, even from someone else's perception of something, then I don't think that's the right thing to do in that arena. However, I really do think it's our perception of what woke is, and that's, I think, where the line is, and I think that's where
I just think people use that. I think that's just the scapegoat term to go to. Everything's woke, and it's like, I get it. I can understand you don't want a female character in the game, whatever. But if you're literally going to turn down a game. And now, like I said, I will go back and say this: if the game sucks, then screw the game. I don't care if it's a female or a male. If it sucks, then what the hell am I going to pay money for and get rid of it? Like Wolverine, people were bitching about your sidekick's Jean Grey. Well, obviously nobody knows shit about X-Men then, because that's pretty much he wants that woman to be his wife, and then she's in the game and people are bitching about it, and it's like, it makes my head hurt that you are going to bitch about this. And this is why prime example, Pragmata, great freaking game. Game sold successfully, did good, an amazing story. That's because Capcom took the shot and made a game that was completely different. Now, there were sick people out there bitching about that they altered this little girl's dress attire because you couldn't look up her code anymore, which that's sick and disgusting.
Yeah, that's hella weird.
But they took a shot and made a game, and everybody loved it. That's what developers don't do that stuff anymore, because people just bitch way too much and they don't take the shot. And you know what's crazy is these people are going to be so now. If and I'm not saying it's going to be. This is my thought. Say the game ends up, the God of War LaFay game becomes super awesome and it's actually a great game, and these people that bitched about it, you know, they missed out on a good story because you played as her wife, and that's why we have so many games, because it's an art form. It's people being creative and different things, man. You got to give some. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Move along.
Absolutely.
Move along. No, go ahead.
I was going to say absolutely, and then in that, at the same time, you know, if you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. There's nothing wrong with either or. There's nothing wrong with either side of the aisle. I honestly feel like the issues stem from, I want to say, lack of understanding other people's position, especially when you talk about things being woke. You guys gotta be careful with that. It's it's weaponized now. We can say things are woke, and people will instantly be turned off on it, not understanding that
Yeah.
it's A, B, and C. And honestly, and like I said before, my main problems with it, because I'm not a God of War fan, and I actually would, and I hope you don't mind me doing this, Brian, but I want to invite you to go ahead and message our Twitters and give your argument for if you do like or not like it and why. Because I really think it's important that we should have a discussion about it, and then those things should be heard by the gaming developers.
Yeah, like get an opinion of why you don't like it, not just because it's a woman. No, if you don't like it because, well, this, that, and the third, I get that. If you
Right.
actually have a legit reason why you don't like the game, cool, understand. Like I said, it goes back to when I bought the $100+ edition of The Last of Us 2. I played it. I didn't like the story. They changed up the story. They shoehorned shit in there that didn't need to be there, and they made a sequel to a game that didn't need it. And now they're making a third one. Now, I've seen them doing casting calls for The Last of Us 3, so I can only imagine how this is going to go. It's going to be
Right. And I
another.
didn't.
It's
Oh
going to
no,
be a
no, what was
nightmare.
saying?
No, I was going to say, and
Right.
that one's going to be a damn nightmare because you're going to make another sequel to a game that didn't need it. So Neil Cuckman is really wanting to just shoot The Last of Us dead and buried now.
Yeah, no, I think they're just what is it? I think they're just suffering from their own success because I really feel like The Last of Us really, like you said, didn't need a sequel because I was definitely confused. I'm like, why are they doing a sequel? Now they're doing a three. I didn't play two, so I didn't know how it ended. I don't want to know because I will play it. I'll play it one day, right? I played the first one. The first one was
Now,
I was not ready for that.
oh, so and here is the big thing that and it doesn't make sense because they had to do it to fit its narrative, and I say this because I want to have people understand it because in the original Last of Us, when Joel kills all the doctors, they were of different race. Uh, and then when The Last of Us 2 came out, the reason why fucking Macho Man Abby Savage, because she got jacked on burritos, was so mad at Joel is because he killed the main doctor, which was her father. And if you remember that scene, there was not a white doctor in that room. So that to me is woke. That is altering a story to fit a narrative to shove bullshit in there. That to me is woke.
That is definitely woke. That is
Not
not just
love,
woke, but that's a huge misstep.
and that's not putting Kratos' wife in a game woke. So, but other than that, uh, and Xbox is woke. They're headed by the head of wokeness. Y'all can come at me with pitchforks and everything, but you know it's true, and I don't care. I love Xbox, but it's true. But I am done venting, but PlayStation had some interesting things that they showed. I'm super excited for Wolverine. I really, except for I forgot about the suit healing because it's its own entity now. Thank you for ruining that for me. But
I'm not gonna let them live that down.
no, definitely not. So we had PlayStation this week, which announced some awesome games, and I will definitely not. I will try it. I am not going to. I will find a way to try it because if the game does suck, I'm going to be upset. I'm not defending any game. Like I said, I'm defending its the at face value of what it is. Now, if the game sucks, the game sucks. Like I said. So I'm super excited to see what Xbox has got going on for Sunday. Uh, but other than that, I really think we had some good game announcements this week so far, and we're ending with Xbox. So
Oh
uh,
yeah.
I want
We're
you to get
definitely
I want you to give your final thoughts because we are pretty much at the end of the show. So give me your final thoughts about what's going to go on with Xbox and how you feel about it.
okay. So this is my honest opinion. Xbox has a sleeper. They obviously have a sleeper. You cannot convince me otherwise. There's something they got something brewing at Xbox. Okay, now with this whole exclusive thing, and people are trying to bring exclusives back, and they're like, that's what Xbox needs, and blah 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 blah. Let's take a step back and realize what's going on. The state of video games as a whole is in danger. I know it sounds like I'm being dramatic, but take a step back and realize what you're seeing right now. You're watching really the decline of gaming as a form of affordable entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the few things that can save it, believe it or not, are not just exclusives, but people buying things. And that's why these decisions are actually being made ultimately. They're not just trying to push a message. I really wish that were the thing, but I think woke really is dying as a form of, we're just trying to put a message in the game. And look no further than the Dustborn. And that game is abysmal. That is the most woke piece of media I have ever seen in my life. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
let's be serious, guys. Let's have a little powwow here. We're really talking with our wallets, right? With
Mm-hmm.
games being so expensive, with things going up, whether it's the tariffs or them being greedy. Because let's be honest, the tariffs are just the excuse. Do not be
Yes.
fooled. Don't just say Trump this, Trump that, right? I mean, like Trump is Trump, right? And that's never really going to change.
No.
But if you really want to be honest, it's the companies being greedy,
Yes.
and that's just the long and short of it. And we have to deal with that as consumers.
Yeah,
And
because
we're
what?
already
Not to cut you off, but GTA 6, they said standard edition is going to be $80 now.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
And that's the practice they're doing. It has nothing to do with tariffs. It's what these companies are setting, because then once everybody, because GTA 6 is going to fly off the shelf, it's going to do phenomenal digitally, physically, wherever it's going to go. And that's the problem, is people in the video game industry is going to see that everybody is willing to pay the $80, so now games are going to go up to $80. It started with Nintendo, and Nintendo got a little flack from that, but GTA 6 is going to do it. Now everybody's going to see, and that's going to become the standard, $80 now. And then it's going to keep going up. I swear to God, by 2027, when these new consoles come out, games are going to be $100.
Absolutely. And we're looking at, like I said, we're just looking at the extinction of gaming as
Mm-hmm.
an affordable thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I want you to pause and give pause and think about what's going on in the space, what's going on with our wallets, what's going on with just us as gamers as a group, and put that in perspective when we're talking about these things and when you're making your decisions. Because I don't want you to go out there and just buy a game just to keep something alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously protect your wallet first. And I've not, don't trust me, I'm not flip flopping here. Just to hear me out, because I've been advocating for this. Speak with your wallet, and that's what we're doing. We have been doing that, especially like hardcore gamers. They're being more picky and choosy about things. So what's going to happen is that we're going to see a shift, and when the shift comes, there's going to be less games. There's going to be less exclusives. There's going to be less this or that and the third. They're going to do everything in their power to not only save themselves, but continue to have us pay top dollar. So continue speaking with their wallets. Be careful and be very mindful about what's going on.
And that has been the biggest statement we have been saying throughout this whole podcast ever since its inception. That's like our biggest thing, is gaming is not becoming affordable. It's not becoming our safe space. I hate to use that word, but our safe space and get away, because now, yes, we got to start talking with our wallets, because once these game developers start seeing, hey, we are not making them, because we're the ones making them rich. We are. There, I mean, granted, some of us can get away with doing a lot of the streaming and stuff, and that's what I want to do with us, is get up there. But also, there's some other stuff in the works with video games with us. But when that time comes, just be mindful. We will not attack your wallets with that. So we'll keep that in mind. Um, it's been a great show, minus the little technical issues. So we're gonna have to do this for a little bit until I can figure out what's going on. Like I said, I live out in the country. I thought I found a solution, but apparently not. But Galaxy Eater, tell everybody where they can find you and what you got going on and what games you're playing.
Well, the games I'm playing, believe it or not, aside from Terraria, like you're seeing right now, because I'm just playing this to chill. I recently started playing a game called Alien Incursion. It came out about 2 years ago on VR, and it just got released for Steam not too long ago.
Uh huh.
So I'm playing that. Has a female character in it. Her name's Azula, and before you even pick up that
That's
game,
woke.
oh, I know her story actually expands back even further than the game itself. It expands back into another comic book. I think it's called like, ooh, what is it called? It's not called Fire and Stone. It might be called Fire and Stone, but she's also been through several things. She is an ex-marine who found out about the xenomorphs. Originally, her original mission was actually to bring them back to Earth. She messed that up, and she is just now out there floating around, killing exos. So a real fun game, real fun time. If you guys are into, especially games that connect to multimedia, definitely get into her story. Her story is very interesting, and most recently, it's actually been the most fun.
Okay, definitely. And Galaxy Eater, what's your YouTube channel, man?
My YouTube channel is Galaxy Eater, Galaxy with an I. Same thing with my Twitter and my Twitch.
All right, yeah. Make sure you guys are following him and all that, so you can check out what stuff he's putting out. He just doesn't hang out with me. He's also got his other stuff going on, so definitely support him. Give him a follow, sub, and all that good stuff. I am just playing all the video games, mixture with men and women in it because it's woke. No, I'm jamming Destiny 2. I'm still working on 007. There's a developer, one of the developers from the first Assassin's Creed. He put a he just released a demo for a game. It's 1666 Amsterdam or something like that. So I just downloaded the demo, so I'm going to give that one a shot and see how that is. But yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitch, the Glitcher Boys. Like I said, I'm going to figure out how to get this stuff up on Twitch too. So because there are people that just follow me on Twitch, you can find us on YouTube. To type it in, it's Attack the Glitcher, but the channel's name is the Glitcher Boys. So, but other than that, that's pretty much all I got going on for today. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Galaxy Eater, you got anything to say before we go?
I guess I'll leave you guys with this one last quick tidbit. With these things happening, with these things that are going on, just remember that it's not always over. Christmas season is coming around, so you're gonna see a lot more craziness. You're gonna see a lot more promises. You're gonna see a lot of stuff. So just keep your wits about you. Don't forget what's coming around the corner. Um, Buy the games that you like and the games that you enjoy. Instead of just complaining about things, do things that you love. Make yourself happy. That's all you can do.
Exactly. So, yep. If you don't like a game, just look on past it. I'm tired of hearing that woke word. Everybody goes through some stuff. Male, female, dogs, cat. Everybody's got something they got to go through, and then they got to go on that revenge tour. Everybody has bullshit in their life, okay? It's not just the men. It's everybody. So, but just remember, man, it's our thoughts and opinions. We like to voice it. Sometimes some of it may make sense, and you might be on board with it. If not, that's cool. If you don't like what we say, cool. That's awesome. Tell me in the comments what you didn't like. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm a grown-ass man. I'll talk to you all day till I'm blue in the face. But other than that, I'm going to go on and send this out. Thank you guys for checking out this week's podcast. I hope you all have a beautiful Saturday and enjoy Xbox's game show. Love you guys. Y'all have a beautiful night. Take it easy. Bye.
Peace out. Alrighty, how do you feel about that?